Why, hello there! As you can see, I am currently homeless. Well, not like me and my wife being homeless. I'm talking about more like Bald Bryce, because I don't currently have a set. Glasses. I never wear glasses on camera. Anyways, you may have thought I'm going to do some vlog about moving or something like that, but honestly, I just don't have it in me to talk about moving anymore. But something that I have wanted to talk about for a while are a couple of words in the English language that I find kind of cool. Now, some of these words may be ones you've never heard before. Some of these may be ones that you've used all the time, but never really broke down the etymology and really thought about it. But who cares? Let's get started. We are going to start off with a really simple one: strengths. The pronunciation and the meaning of strengths, and also the commonplaceness of it all, really isn't that all intriguing to me, but what is intriguing to me is its spelling. You have an 8-letter long word that you use just one vowel to be able to make. When my mom and I played this game called Letterpress, it's kind of like this territorial spelling game. Strengths was one of my favorite words because as long as I had an E and the right number of consonants, I could spell it and take over a lot of territory. Let's not do a word that's commonplace, but let's use one that means commonplace. Ubiquitous. 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 You might just think that it's on my favorite word list because it's just fun to say. Ubiquitous. 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 But it's actually one of my favorite words because it means the opposite of what it is. Ubiquitous means present, appearing, or found everywhere. Ubiquitous is what you call a non-homological word, meaning that the word itself does not describe itself. English is an English word, therefore it is homological. German is not a German word. Unhyphenated is homological. Long, while maybe being a little bit subjective, is not a long word because short is longer than it. Anyways, fun to say, fun to contemplate the irony of its definition. A really fun word that I came across recently is demonstration. Now, demonstration is not particularly fun to say, and the spelling is rather straightforward. The etymology isn't all that great either, but demonstrating is the act of throwing something or someone out a window. How did that become a word? I have two theories for that. One, it was just commonplace a while ago to throw things or people out windows that we needed a word for it. Man, I was born in the wrong century. Or two, you had a very posh person and a very cockney person sitting in the same room as somebody got thrown out a window, and the cockney person's like, "Oi! A chap just got thrown out a window." And the posh British person's like, "Such a vulgar phrase. We must come up with a more sophisticated, refined way to say that. Let's consult the Latin dictionary." Next, we're going to get into our Latin roots and talk about concentration. Now, concentration is maybe even lamer than strengths, and I wouldn't have even given it the time of day had I not been doing a little Spanish studying. The word con in Spanish means with. Spanish, as you probably know, is a Latin-based language. So if you put the prefix con in front of something like dense, you get condense, which means with denseness, to make something dense. But I really like concentration because it means with centration, meaning that you are kind of taking everything that's available and putting it at the center, centralizing it. Thinking about it that way kind of puts a new spin on what it means to actually concentrate. Of course, the opposite of con in Spanish is sin, which means without. And one of my other favorite words happens to start with that prefix, sincere. What I am going to share here is rather controversial in the etymological world. Hey, controversial could also be broken down like that. But the apocryphal story on how sincere became a word started in sculpting. As you could imagine, sculpting is kind of an expensive, high-risk art form to go out in. If you mess up with your sculpture, you just wasted a giant block of rock that you really can't hit Control-Z on. And so, when you did have sculptors who would mess up, they would chip a little too deep, they would take wax and fill in the cracks and kind of, I guess, paint over it or something so that it's not noticeable, all of those flaws. If you take the Latin word sign and the Latin word cera, you get without Michael Cera? What? No, without wax. Sincere, when broken down, therefore means without wax, meaning that the statue that you get is made of a solid, genuine material. No one has taken something else and filled in some of the cracks, some of the emptiness in the visage to make something that is ingenuine. Whether that story is true or not, I think it's really cool to take that idea of saying that something is sincere if it is comprised of only itself and kind of applying that to people. And there we have it, a couple of words that I find really cool for a lot of different reasons. What do you think? What is one of your favorite words? And why do you like it so much? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section down below, and I will see you next week. Hopefully when I figured out a new set for this vlog. Mwah!